Alright, I'm going to do cotangent. So again, just like tangent, it's half the period of sine and cosine. So instead of going 2 pi over b, you're going to go pi over b. So I'm going to go pi divided by b. In this problem, b is already factored out. You can see the 3 there. I'm going to go ahead and erase that, but that is what b is right here. So I'm going to take pi divided by 3, and there's my period. So I'm going to come down here and lay down one period. Now remember, with tangent and cotangent, you only have to do half as much. So you don't have to go to quarter marks, you only got to go to half marks. So I'm going to just go to pi over 6. So, and then this will be negative pi over 6. And then negative pi over 3. And since there is a phase shift, if you want to go one more to the right, you can. And you're counting by pi over 6, so it would be 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, which is pi over 2. Okay, phase shift is going to be, it's already factored out, so it's pi over 6 right. I'm sorry, Curious George is playing really loud. Vertical shift is down 2. So I'm going to go ahead and go down 2 and draw that imaginary line to remind myself I've got to remember to shift this graph down 2. From the last example you looked at, the tangent one, I forgot. And I remembered because I had my imaginary line in there. So that's the middle of the graph right there. So now what I'm going to do is, my period is pi over 3. Remember cotangent. You got to remember this. If you don't remember this, it's going to have a hard. Tangent starts with a point on the y-axis and then an asymptote at your half mark. Cotangent starts with an asymptote on the y-axis and then a point. So you have to imagine there's an asymptote on this y-axis right here. There's an asymptote. I have to shift that right pi over 6. That means my asymptote is going to be here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my asymptote there. And then the pattern goes asymptote, point. Remember, I'm down 2. Asymptote. Asymptote, point. Asymptote, point. Asymptote. And then point. This is cotangent. It would normally be left-handed, but now it's a negative 3, so it's going to be right-handed. It actually flips it so that it's like tangent. Now the 3, people ask me, well, what does that do? That just stretches it so that the disco curves are steeper is all. But you're not going to be able to really tell that. They're just steeper disco curves is all. They're skinnier. So there's my cotangent graph. Now I can put my asymptotes in. It's x equals, and it will be the first asymptote is pi over 6 plus multiples of the period, because remember, between asymptotes, that's a whole period. That is the period, p. So it's the whole period. So it's plus multiples of the period. The period's pi over 3, so it'd be pi over 3k. The domain would be x cannot equal pi over 6 plus pi over 3k. And then the range will just be all real numbers. And there is your cotangent graph.